This is the Simpit. I'm your host, Shaun Cole, and welcome to this week's edition of the Pitstop, where you, the pit crew, and others are the real star of today's show. Welcome to the Pitstop, where we are here to talk about sim racing and all the things going on in our sim racing world. Happy Friday to everybody. I always say good morning because I am West Coast USA. It is morning time here, but happy or good evening and afternoon to all of you. So today is a really special edition of the Pitstop, and I guess today is one of those days where I could give a big thumbs down to part of the sim racing community for not being here on Fridays to talk about sim racing, because today is an extra special show. And before I get to our news, one thing I just got to say, I am so proud of the Simpit crew. It's not just me anymore. You've got Devin Booth, who's been cranking out videos on WRC10 and other videos, including he's working on the new Thrustmaster wheel review. He is cranking stuff out, and a big part of what we're doing here at the Simpit, as well as, you know him mainly as a character on 3 Wide, and you know him as the race director, Amir Assad, a big part of the Simpit and what we're doing here. And I want to welcome to the show right now Amir Assad, because he is in Germany at Nürburgring, and he is at SimRacing Expo 2021. Amir Assad, how you doing, buddy? Look at the big Nürburgring sign right behind you. I am so jealous. How you doing this fine morning or evening for you?
Oh, it's great, man. How's the pit crew out there?
Oh, we are doing wonderfully. So what I have here at our Discord channel, we have two things. We have Amir, who's there live at Sim Expo, walking through the courtyard of Nürburgring, and I have photos. So if you went to our Discord channel, I'm always promoting and telling you to go to our Discord channel, the Simpit, and you can see these photos. They're all right there at the Simpit photo section of our Discord channel. So Amir, thank you for posting. I got this. I'm looking at a rig. It says RX on the back. I don't even know what kind of rig it is, to be honest with you. I've never seen it before. And was this like the first thing you saw when you walked in? It was like your first photo. And it's like all the others are in series, and then this one's all isolated. A few Sparko seats up on stands. Do you recall what
So, I'm going back through all the photos, man, because I took so many photos. So I'm going back through all of them, man. As you hear the loud motorcycles in the background.
Awesome. You got a racetrack environment. That's what we were talking about.
It is. Yeah. I mean, this is the mecca of racing, man. Like, everybody comes here just so they can say they've been to the Nürburgring. So no, that RX is SimLab's new rig. So I was talking to Richard earlier. So they're coming out with this new line of rigs where they want to make him look more pleasant, more so the wife can accept having a sim rig in the house versus where it looks like, aluminum profile.
Well, that's what we've been saying forever. Yeah, well, and you can see they still integrated some profile because it has wonderful qualities for sim racing as well. Or sim racing components, I should say. I see the shifter arm allowing you a lot of front to back adjustment on what looks like a really stylish rig. I applaud that because I'm a fan of wife approved or roommate approved rigs, right? Or significant other rigs is the better way to say this. I
right.
Awesome. That's a great looking rig. Did you get a chance to drive that thing?
So no, I haven't got a chance to look at it yet. So tomorrow I'm gonna be sitting down with a couple of people. I'm gonna sit down and ask them some questions, and one of them is SimLab. So I'm gonna get some seat time in the new rig. Along with that, afterwards, sitting down with Richard and talking with him about SimLab and what they do and what they're gonna be looking for towards the future.
Awesome. I noticed that Sparko Circuit 2 is the exact seat that's sitting here on my our seat right here, by the way. Just pointing that out.
Yeah.
All right.
That's the same one that I'm having.
I swear, I'm going to go through every one of these. I hope you have an hour, because I want to go through all of these. So the next photo is the tall photo of the Fanatec wheels, and I can see a few. I see one on top that's dubbed the GT. Below it is that new brushed or crushed carbon wheel, the BMW one. And then you have some of the other newer, the McLaren and the other Porsche round wheel. And then they have the Bentley here. So this is all part of the Fanatec booth. And that's an awesome looking Bentley. Did you get to drive the Bentley?
The real Bentley? No. I think it's to drive the real Bentley. No. I'd love to, but I did get to sit down and try out their CSLDD, which I absolutely loved, by the way. I think by far, like, I think it's going to take the market by storm with how good it is. I was very surprised because when I was here 2 years ago when they came out with their DD line, like, it was good, but I don't think it was up there yet with the likes of SimUCube. But I think, to be honest, I did a fantastic job with their CSL DD. I got to try it and compare it next to the Logitech and the Thrustmaster wheel, and by far it just blew them out of the water.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Here, let's go back. We have more to see at Fanatec. We're all kind of all over the place here, but hold on.
Yep.
So, the Bentley wheel. You got to see this up close and in person. Did they have? I see they have the display model here that I'm looking at a photo of, and it looks like they have the clock on the center.
Yeah.
Did they have an operational one where you could go through the modes and?
No, unfortunately, they didn't have it. Most of the wheels that they're using were their new F1 wheel, and then so they have one rig that's set up to for rally. They were using the rally rim for that.
Okay.
Unfortunately, the wheel was just there for show to show off, like, hey, look at this new pretty wheel.
So it looks to me, this, just taking a closer look, confirm this for me, but I like it. Looks like the buttons are kind of like stepped, and then they're well guarded as well. Is that the case?
They are.
Yeah.
Yep.
I kind of like that. I mean, for a modern, I almost call this like a TIE fighter style rim. We've gone beyond racing, and now these are like straight out of some spaceship or something,
Yeah. So I think I think there's like, I don't know, like if it's their marketing thing or how how Bentley wants it built, but like, so this is supposed to be the Bentley GT3 hill climb wheel. That's supposed to be their GT3, like the one that they race in actual, in the GT3 races. That's the one that's actually used for their hill climb for the Bentley.
That is a beauty wheel. All right. Let's go through some more. Who is this fancy billet-looking stuff? Big, thick-armed, red anodized handbrake. That's those pictures I took from the Raceworks. So that one on the top, that's their new hydraulic handbrake. Okay, that is badass looking.
That thing is massive.
Oh my god.
And then the bottom is, so they're coming out with a new set of pedals too. They're coming out with inverted pedals.
That's what that is.
So the bottom, so the one below it, that's showing off how their inverter pedals are gonna look.
Awesome. They look at where we've come. I mean, I just think back. It's like I've been doing this a long time, but at the same time, in the grand scheme of things, it's not that long a time since everything you could get was like black and plastic, and that's it, right? And now it's like BMX era. We're in the BMX era of sim racing, where you want your stuff in anodized purple, no problem, we can do it. I love it. Oh, that's so awesome. All right.
Yeah, well, that's one of the things that they're going to be doing. Is like they're going to come out with different colors, anodized colors, so people can have a choice of, depending on how they have their rig colored. Now they have a choice of getting the same color for their accessories now.
Awesome. All right, now we have the video of wheels. Look at all these wheel rims.
Oh, all the SimUCube ones?
Yeah.
Yep.
Whoa. All right, play that again. Their stuff is so nice. What was it like? So, I mean, I've never really held one of these in person. What was it? I mean, do they look like... I mean, I imagine when you walk up to that wall, that to the normal person, it would look like a bunch of pro racing wheels, not a bunch of sim racing equipment.
So they do, man. They look like they're actually pro wheels. Unfortunately, I didn't get to hold them because they're mounted to the wall. But I was actually able to sit there and feel them while they're hanging off the wall.
Yeah, you can still...
but they felt super nice.
Oh, they make them...
Like, it feels like a wheel I could take and put in my car.
I mean, these are the kind of things that the only way you could get, honestly, was like if you were a true DIYer and you were determined to have real race car equipment and you're going to do your own conversions or adaptations. And it just, again, I'm blown away by the era that we're at. Here we're at looking at the Sim Lab rigs, the RaceX rig. And, all right, so the GT rim. There's that GT rim. Wait, so that's the trophy. That's the trophy. On top.
So, yep.
Oh, that's bitchin'. That is really bitchin'. That's for the
Can you say that?
Assetto Corsa SRO competition.
Yeah.
This is not a replica. So what's in this? What's in the box? Is that
That's the box that the BMW rim comes in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. This is not a
Just
replica.
the BMW logo on the very top.
Yeah. There we go. That one.
So they're making sure they tell you this is not a replica; it's the real wheel.
All right. I gotta, they are making some pretty nice stuff too. I gotta look at this as sim equipment at the Sim Expo. I am blown away by just the level across the board. Look at everything. Nothing. Just 5 years ago, even it did not and would not look like this. Now we look like we're the real deal, the pro level equipment. Anyway. Okay, so Sector 1 motion sim looks like a D-Box-esque 4-post motion rig.
So yeah, so they're coming out with an F1 seated rig that you can mount a DD wheel to, and also that you can do motion also.
Damn, there is some really cool stuff there. All right, we have a video of their big presentation area. That's where the competition's going to go on, I'm assuming.
Yep. So yeah, that's where if you look to the left, that's where they got like their big rigs for the actual real competitions they're going to go on. The middle screen is where they've been showing the races that have been happening. Then like right below is where they sit down and interview and talk to people.
Amir, thank you so much for getting us this. This is awesome. This is so great. Look at all those cool rigs up on the stage. Badass.
And those are all D-Box rigs too, man.
Excellent. Wow,
But I don't know if you can hear
Look, this guy fully bombed your video at the very last second.
Yep.
All right, next up.
He so hard too. I felt so bad for him. Like, no, dude, it's okay.
He's like trying to go around you and you're spinning and he just gets in there and there's no avoiding it. All right, what's this Alter Racer? This looks like a Sim Experience-esque style.
Yes.
That's a cool looking package though. It looks kind of like a bobsled in a weird way to me.
Yeah, in a way it is. I didn't get a chance to try that one out yet because there were so many people. Like most of the people are gravitating towards the booths that have the motion rigs.
Sure.
So this one I still haven't had a chance to take a look at. But yeah, it's just a little a self-contained rig where it has actuators in it. Yeah, kind of like CXC has.
Yeah. And they were running Sim Magic equipment, it looked like.
Yep.
OP Light. Well, look at all these companies. This is awesome. This is so great. Companies I've never even heard of or seen. OP Light. They got a whole booth.
You'll see there's so many companies here that I've never heard of that are jumping into the sim racing market. And we get to like later on. There's one company that actually used to do open wheel cars, and now they're starting to do sim rigs too.
Oh, you mean Pininfarina? No, I'm kidding. No, so they have the $200,000 version.
Yep.
So here's the thing I'm seeing. This has been going on for a while, and it's only getting worse. The branding of rigs is falling into the same trap that the automotive industry fell into. Like, everybody uses the exact same name. It's like the GT. It's like how many cars have the name GT or R or S or, and it's just like, oh my God, you need to be OP Light P1 Sim. Sorry, I'm not trying to slam it because everyone's doing it, the R-Seat P1 chassis. P1. I understand it's racing terminology. Jason Gotta, big question for you, Amir.
Sure.
Was Feel VR there?
I saw some smoke coming behind one of the booths, so I'm not sure if that was them or not.
No. There was a curtain and smoke coming out. Oh, don't look behind the curtain. Oh, God. Oh, well done, Amir.
No, seriously though, no, they're not here though. It would be great if they were here to show off, like, hey, we're actually still serious about our product versus coming out with that video, a couple of weeks ago.
Right.
Like, I think if they were here, that would have probably made a huge statement saying that we're still around. Which I'm kind of saddened to see that they're not.
Yeah. I laughed hard because it was too hard to pass up on, but I feel the same way. It's like, hey, we need another, right? I mean, wouldn't it be great to have another manufacturer, even if just think, if you go back in time, by the way, and think of like the original Porsche wheel from Fanatec, it's kind of laughable now. I mean, so like, even if you have to come out and start off at a level and work their way, that's fine. We need more. InSim, one of my all-time favorite motion sims I've ever driven, funny enough. I drove this at PRI, and it is an amazing motion sim, the InSim. Their booth looks packed.
Yes, man. It was one of the most popular booths there, and I sat down and talked to Tiago for a bit, and so there'll be a video coming on that. I'm gonna actually sit down and have like a sit-down style interview with him. But dude, by far, like I tried a couple motion rigs, and I think you and me talked about this. I think the biggest mistake that a lot of these sim racing companies do is, when they go to the expos and they dial everything to a 12,
right?
To make
all the time.
Wow, and all the time, except for InSim. Like InSim, like when they set up the rigs, they set it up how you would set it up at home. And when I sat in it, it just felt like I was actually sitting in a real car. It wasn't hurting me, it wasn't throwing me around. It was just giving me like, hey, you're turning a corner, or hey, the rear's sliding out. Like giving me those senses that, you would feel in a normal real car, and it wasn't trying to like be over and out there just trying to, throw you around.
Right.
And notice, like, in the bottom left, you'll see a set of pedals.
Yes, I was going to ask you about that. What is that? Those are some amazing-looking inverted pedals.
So they're coming out with new load cell pedals that are going to be super affordable for people. Because I think one of the things that Tiago was talking about is that the rigs, a lot of people complain that the rigs are made for, one group of people. So now they want to branch out and start making things that anybody can buy. And so he's got those new pedals on display, and you see like there's a bunch of different faceplates that they're looking at and taking a look at, different styles. And I actually got to try them. So they had them mounted on the rig, and I sat in it, trying them out for a good 20 minutes. And man, I was blown away by how good they were already. They're still in prototype stages, but just the way they feel already is freaking amazing. And I'll have more on those later when I actually sit down and go in depth on those pedals too. I don't want to give too much away on them.
All right, yeah, more to come. This is the teaser day, right?
Yep.
Excuse me. Okay. EVO motion simulator. Whoa.
Yep, that spider web looking rig.
It's a mini Cruden.
Yeah.
That's what it's a miniature Cruden. That's what it looks like to me. You need a platform to get up into a Cruden, because it's like this times 3, and goes for about $250,000. What does this go for? Did you see a price? Were they showing their price?
I don't think they put a price because they know most people aren't going to be able to afford it. But I sat in it too, and I drove in it. It felt great. Now, depending on the price of how it is it going to be worth trying to climb in and climb out of a rig like that? I don't know, but it's a great looking, great rig. Looks great, and it felt great driving in it too, man.
It's got to be over $100,000 just like that, without any. It's like you probably are closer to 150 would be my guess, without even guessing. But just judging what a full-blown CXE goes for on one end of the spectrum and what a Cruden goes for on the other, that thing's got to be, if you have to ask, you can't afford it.
Yeah.
We don't do it that way. Come in and see us. Yeah. It's one of those experience-priced rigs. Yeah, absolutely. All right, here's the other InSim shot. Oh, I can't wait for, you got to get some footage of the InSim in action. Really great looking rig. Yeah. All right, Viraco.
Yeah, so these guys are a new company that started out in January. When I was in town with the guys. So these are guys offer you a complete package for rigs. So if you just want a chassis, you can buy a chassis from them. If you want if you want the full complete setup with a computer, actuators, all that, they do all that too, man. So you
French?
pretty much no. So they're out of Belgium.
Belgium. Okay.
Yep. So I guess the guy that's his name is Jeremy, and they used to be in the automotive racing world, and he was kind of tired of. So a lot of these people, a lot of the companies that offer complete packages, they all he was talking to me about it. Is like, they always try to make you purchase more and more, then the price of the rig goes up. But this guy, he's like, his philosophy is, we'll build a rig for anybody and for anything that they want, and we won't make them purchase more than what they need.
Gotcha. All right.
Yep.
I like that's smart, the little actuator plate they put under the rig. I like that.
Yep.
Anybody's done 4-post actuators on carpet at a trade show. SimTag.
So yeah, SimTag's there. They're actually coming out with the new set of pedals. I think I have a shot somewhere in there, but so they're coming out with the new haptic hydraulic pedals.
Ooh.
They had them on display and they got them on their rigs.
That's Husinkveld. Hold on. I don't think we have a close up, but that's intriguing. Haptic. Haptic isn't new. I mean, you think about it. Fanatec has haptic in from the club sport. They had haptic before that even. Little vibrator motor in the brake pedal, and I think it's something that's probably been underutilized. It's also the moment that, well, as long as it's just cluing you in. This is something I talked with a guy named Thor of a company called Race Pro. That we're at a point where you could build your own ABS pedal, and it would be cheating, basically.
We got one. We got Heiko. I mean, Heiko's got its own haptic feedback on his pedal.
Yeah. Now, in this case, we're talking about just haptic feedback, where it's just giving you another alert. But it's a level of immersion. I mean, anybody's driven a real car, it's amazing what the brake pedal feel is. So, I mean, you feel it in a civilian car, but if you've been on a racetrack, you can feel a bump in the road through the brake pedal under braking. You can feel the moment the wheels change their acceleration rate. You can feel the moment you get any slip or lockup or chatter or any of those effects that the car's handling. You feel it in the brake pedal as fast as you feel it anywhere else. So, yeah, it's probably, our pedals have always been a little dead fish, even with a hydraulic brake, which gives you so much more feel. It's still a dead fish pedal compared to a real life active pedal. Comparing that to how much we put into force feedback, it is probably time that we need to really look at the pedals. As great as they become, is with how good direct drive wheels and force feedback has gotten, with how good and accessible motion sims have gotten, we now do have to go back to what was always the leader of the pack, because the pedal was sort of the first of all to step up to hydraulic and load cell and give you performance feel. But now we have to go all the way back to the brake pedal, which was the OG, kick-ass sim product.
Right.
Same with shifters.
I'm kind of doing that with pedals because I think pedals is probably, I think everybody knows that, like, pedals are probably the single most important upgrade you can do to your rig. Like, that if you're chasing after, more consistency, more speed, like, you need to have a good set of pedals or you're going to be all over the place.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so we have the virtual racing lounge. What was this? This was just a hangout spot? No.
No. So virtual racing lounge, they're mostly a company that offers league organization. Kind of like how we use extreme scoring for our leagues. They essentially do the same thing where you can keep track of all your leagues, your racing stats and all driver stats and all that.
All right. Mobius. What's Mobius all about?
So Mobius, those are the new gaming monitors that are coming out from BenQ. So a lot of the booths got Mobius screens to show off, to show off their new the new monitors that they're coming out with. That's replacing the old EX R 34Rs and 32Rs.
Now I'm not seeing a why 49-inch widescreen competitor? I'm just seeing normal widescreens. Is that right?
Yep. Yeah. So what they're offering with this new line is 32 and 34-inch screens that can do 144 hertz.
Yeah. Well, they're still like that's sort of like the that's the Bentley of monitors right there.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's the one thing Booth's mentioned. Sorry to distract. I'm just answering some of the chat here, Amir. Shifters will be the next one, because as great as shifters and handbrakes and things have become, they're all really lacking in any kind of real feedback. And one of the things I've always said is I will not drive an H pattern until they put actuators in it that prevent misshifts. Because if your timing of your clutch is wrong, your car will not go. Well, I mean, for the most part, yeah. If you have a crap gearbox, it might go into gear, and if you have an old school car, it might go into gear. And if you somehow magically hit the synchro point, you might go into gear. But for the most part, if you misshift, the car will not give you the wrong gear, which is my big hatred of H patterns in sim racing. It's like, this is nothing like a real shifter. It acts nothing like, there's no link between it and the clutch and the car, and it's a button. It's 5 buttons. So anyway, all right, so shifter. Speaking of Husingveld, now can you please explain to me, this is me being a dick, but I see 1 million people in masks, and I see 2 Husingveld employees presenting, and neither of them are wearing masks. What's up with that?
So that I don't know, but I mean, at least on the safety side, so here, yeah, when you're inside, you have to wear a mask. But in order to enter into the Sim Expo, you either have to be fully vaccinated, recovering from, fully recovered from COVID, or have a negative test before you can enter. And they check all that information before they even allow you in, because they have to give you a bracelet and everything to say, yep, you're good to go to come in. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I think that's cool. Sonic Worm says no masks in the UK. Yeah, but that, I guess, I'm doing that. Here I am doing an American, and I'm like looking at an indoor event, and I'm like, well, you have to wear a mask indoors. I forget also that we're not in America here. This is Germany. But Germany's strict.
You're supposed to wear a mask indoors, yes.
Right.
And I believe, like, if you're behind the lines, no customers or no people around, you can take off your mask.
Yeah.
Like the rule is you can take your mask off for 15 minutes, but then you have to put it back on.
It's just funny because I see like 30 people, everyone's in a mask, and there's the 2 guys talking to multiple people. No man, just like, what's wrong with this photo? All right. I'm not here to give anyone a hard time. Sorry. Look at this Husingveld handbrake. How do they say their name? I say it Husingveld. Is that right?
Husingveld.
Okay. Look at that handbrake.
Yep, that's their new handbrake that they're coming out with. So like, they have it on display. They also have it on their rigs to try it too. But that's 2 different configurations you can have it on. So depending on how you want to mount it, if you want to mount it horizontal or vertical, you can have it both those positions depending on how your rig is set up.
You can see it's influenced by the Sparco Thrustmaster. It's the same type of. It's like it's that handbrake on super steroids. Super steroids. Awesome. And then there's sequentials, which are, pretty famous as well.
Yep.
Nice. New photos. This just in. Look at this beast of a rig. Look at this beast of the rig. Track time.
Yep.
Okay, so I always like to name the style of rig by what I see as the original version, like the Cruden on that one, or a CXE or Sim Experience style. This is the baby chair design, funny enough, being put into a different configuration. But this is the Force Dynamics style 3-post style. That is a cool looking rig. But they're using it in a totally different configuration. I'm just looking at the photo. This is awesome. So is that like an accordion mechanism under the seat? What's going on?
I haven't gotten to try it out yet. But That's one of those. So Track Time, they're part of RaceRoom. They're part of Asher Racing. So they all fall under the KW Automotive Group.
Yeah.
So this is so me and you talked about it a couple weeks ago. Like last time I was up here at the Nürburgring, the RaceRoom Cafe was completely closed, and so apparently I thought it was closed permanently because of COVID, and there just wasn't enough people going there to it. And to be honest, like it was felt a little run down because they were using old Logitech G27 wheels, like old, giant bezel monitors. But they actually closed it down for renovations. And they came back even strong. They came back even harder. So they got these rigs in there. All their wheels now are direct drive wheels using Asher wheels, and they're relaunching it in a more
upscale, modernized
way, more modern.
Awesome. Yeah, so this is actually a 3-piston seat mover. One on left, one on right, and one behind, which is why I say it's that configuration of the old Force Dynamics. They used to suspend an entire rig from 3 up in the air, and it looked like a high chair for a baby at a dining room table. That's why I call it that. This is using that same mentality, but keeping everything else fixed. You can see, much like a CXE or Sim Experience style, the platform itself with the pedals and the steering wheel are in a fixed location. The seat is going to do all the moving, it looks like. Which would also make that a less expensive configuration, because now you only have to suspend up to 300 pounds versus the other is more like suspending 500 pounds when you're carrying all the gear with the driver. Anyway, and that's, if you think about motion systems and the cost of how much weight you are going to move is as big a cost factor, maybe more, than how far you want to move it. So you look at like a D-box where it moves like, 1.5, 3 or 4.5 inches. Those cost more money. The more movement you want. So, no. Sorry. All right. I'm sorry, Amir. I'm keeping you forever. There's the Asher wheel.
So that's the new Asher wheel. It's going to be coming out early next year.
That's cool. I just want to go move those knobs and feel the click. D10.
I know. Oh, dude, the clicks felt so good to the touch, man. Oh, it felt so nice. Really surprised by how good that wheel felt, man.
Awesome. And then here's some of the SimUCube stuff. Their new mount. I see their new mount with the little hexagon shapes in it, and some that looks like Fanatec wheels.
So no, those are I'm trying to remember. So those were those are from I can't remember. So they were at the SimTag booth. But no, they're not made by Fanatec. Those are I can't remember who they're made from, but they're made for SimUCube. They're not made for Fanatec.
Well, and that's the thing is that Fanatec made replica wheels of a couple of existing wheels, like the Porsche GT and the Bentley wheel, for example. Well, anybody who's smart is going to be influenced by real-life hardware, and they're going to copy and emulate those same wheels. So funny enough, because, again, it looks like a different company's, and you can tell it's not Fanatec by the dimensions, but or thicknesses of certain things. And that looks like maybe it's a BMW, Bentley GT3 wheel, not the hill climb wheel. But it blatantly looks like a Bentley-esque wheel, and the one above it is branded Porsche.
Talking about the middle one?
Yeah.
No, the top one, no. So that's the Porsche. That's the Porsche GT3 Cup car wheel.
Gotcha.
And then right below it's Mercedes AMG wheel.
Mercedes AMG. Gotcha. Okay, that's what we got. Awesome. Hey, Booth was all over it. Well done, Boothy. Because was that actually... Oh, see, I thought that was a clock. I didn't see the Mercedes logo. That's a Mercedes logo in the center?
Yep.
Okay, I didn't see that. Thank you. Devin was all over it. All right, and then the last one we have for today's batch of Sim Expo 2021 from Amir Saad, live in Germany. Thank you, Amir. Is this Venom rig where they have a cool-looking car. Looks like an F3 car. Yeah.
So F3 wheels. So these guys are another new company that's out there too. So they build F3 cars. They work on F3 cars, and I guess yes. So 2 years ago, they started getting more into sim racing. So on top of what they normally do in the real racing world, and they're there. This is their first time at the expo too, and they're showing off what they have. Yeah, the same thing. They build motion rigs, and they're more in an F1 style seating.
Yeah, I can see them laid down. And their own pedal set as well, it looks like.
Yep, they have their own pedal set, which is they have. I didn't take a picture of it, but so they got aluminum. They your normal aluminum wheels,
right?
Like most kind of based off of Huskenfeld. And then they have a carbon fiber set of pedals, and everything's made out of carbon fiber.
Really?
So yeah, I want to take when I go back tomorrow. I want to take a better look at those pedals because they just look absolutely gorgeous. But there was too many people around them, so I didn't get a chance to take a look.
It's like there are a few things in life that are just not necessary, right? But like, oh, so cool. I remember when I was at PRI, Performance Racing Industries trade show last year. Max Pappas had a carbon wheel, and it was all carbon, and it was so beautiful. Just elegant beautiful, because there's something about that gloss and that pattern and the shapes and the perfection when people bother making it out of carbon fiber. And then something about the fact that it is so lightweight. The other thing that fascinates me, I'm a metal guy. I love touching metal, and I almost feel like a person who touches metal all the time can almost tell what metal it is by the touch. Like you can feel the difference between aluminum and steel, for example. And then there's carbon fiber, which has no temperature sensation. It's such a beautiful material. But do you really need it in sim racing? It's like, I don't need a carbon fiber wheel on sim racing, but wouldn't it be the coolest thing ever? And the same thing in pedals. It's like, I don't need it. However, boy, wouldn't that be fantastic. Any BMW M4 GT3 news from Fanatec?
No, not really. They just had the wheel that was there. No news on it. They were actually mostly like showing off the Bentley GT3 because they had they had the car there, and in all their sims, when you got in it, you drove in the Bentley GT3.
Okay. All right, Amir. So, were there any famous drivers? Have you seen any famous drivers there? Any real life drivers?
So no, I think this time around because. So I think, yeah, because like you and me talked about, usually when they do the SimRacing Expo, they usually time it around, the GT3 race. And this year they didn't. It's its own thing. They have some people on the racetrack right now testing out their cars, but they're not really doing anything. I don't know if it's because of COVID or they want to get back to their roots of focusing more on the sim racers and letting the sim racers experience everything versus the normal crowds that come in or the race car drivers. So yeah, I didn't see any professional race car drivers. I saw a couple of YouTubers out there. I met up with Mark Ossistick, had a chance to chat with him for a little bit.
Oh, he's one of my favorites.
I saw Chris Haynes walking around. I saw Ricardo, a random call sign out there walking around a bit too. I didn't get a chance to say hi to them.
Awesome.
So I get to meet with them some more tomorrow and have a chat with them to see how they're doing and what they're up to.
Cool. You will definitely have to keep us informed. What about any of the bigwigs? Have you seen Thomas yet?
No, I haven't. Surprisingly, no. And like Thomas wasn't around, and to me, like actually the biggest surprise out of everything is rFactor 2 and iRacing both weren't here.
Whoa.
It's predominantly 505 games and the Sutter Corsa, Competizione that are here and advertising stuff, but even the competitions are all mostly done in those, in the ACC sim.
Right.
And I think that's like one of the reasons why Mitchie didn't come out is because rFactor wasn't going to be here. So again, I don't know if that's due to COVID or what, but they were people I was actually looking forward to sitting down and talking with. But yeah, they didn't make the trip out.
Are we getting into a point where it's like East Coast, West Coast? Like, oh, well, these are the European companies, those are the American companies? I don't know.
No, so we had a couple American companies out here, and the one that's the new kid on the block, and I got more on them too. So Gomez Racing Wheels, so they're out here. They flew all the way out from America to be here to show off their wheel rims, and they make beautiful wheels too. So if you haven't seen the Gomez Racing Wheels, like go out and Google them and search for them. They're amazing looking wheels, and they make all sorts of custom wheels for people. Awesome. And even our friend Terry Crouch, she bought a wheel from them. And yeah, had a nice chat. It's a company that's ran by, husband and wife, and yeah, they decided they want to come here. They should want to show off what they have.
Awesome.
So I'm gonna have more on that too, more, later on.
Awesome. I guess so. This would be a plug. You'll have to tune into next week's pit stop for more behind the scenes from Sim Expo 2021. Next week's show is actually going to be a different host. I'm not going to be here. I have my own obligations, and it's going to be Devin Booth filling in on Friday for me. And yeah, I guess we'll have more. More from Amir. He won't be there anymore, but he'll be able to tell us and show us some other cool things. And again, if you want to see the photos, the videos that Amir's already posted, they're in our Discord channel. So if there's ever a time to become part of the Simpit community, get in there and check it out. We have a whole section called Simpit Photos, and that's where you'll find all these photos, which before the show were teasers, and you might see teasers before the next show. So get in there. Amir, man, this is awesome. This is awesome. I'm so glad you were able to attend for us and bring us live feed coverage from Sim Expo 2021. Are you going to make a run at Bridge to Gantry while you're here?
Definitely, for sure. I can't come up here without taking a lap on the ring, man. So it closes down in about 15 minutes, so I'm not gonna be able to make it, but tomorrow for sure.
Right.
And I might put up a video of it too while I'm out there. I don't know. We'll see.
Oh, that'd be awesome. You should. Yeah, do it. Put it on the main channel just so everybody watching knows you want to see a run by. Then again, I shouldn't encourage such a thing because here's my Murphy's Law of racing. If you want something bad to happen, put a GoPro on it.
I know, right?
Sorry, I had to knock on wood. Where's some friggin' wood? My fake wood floors will do. Amir, that was awesome. Thank you, buddy. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you guys for watching in, and yeah, I'll chat with you guys later.
And enjoy the rest of the expo, and be sure, hey, if you're watching, go find Amir, give him a high five, and Amir, send our best wishes to everybody you run into from the shop here. So yeah, thank you.
I'll say, man, I've had quite a few guys sitting here asking, like, where's Shaun Cole? Like, why is he not out here? Like, man, it's COVID, but if you guys got to speak up and say, hey, we want Shaun Cole at the next year's Sim Expo.
Maybe next year it'll happen. Maybe next year. So,
yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, Amir, thanks again. Have a great rest of your trip, and we'll be looking forward to seeing more from you.
Yep, no worries. Take care, everybody. Later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, you guys, how about that? Live from Sim Expo 2021. And again, I couldn't be more proud a father. Oh, that doesn't sound right. I couldn't be more proud of the incredible Simpit team. I didn't thank earlier, but Dave Blair also contributing, putting out good videos and rallying the troops when we need to get things going. So again, the Simpit team just coming through and firing on all cylinders. So with that said, I know it's already been a long show, a little diversion, another YouTube corner highlight coming again. We have more highlights. Anyway, I want to thank Amir again. Logistically, that's not the easiest thing in the world to do that, and he just came through with so much awesome, so many cool photos and pics for us, and the live feed. So again, thank you, Amir. So what else is going on? Believe it or not, there are other things going on in sim racing. It's not all Sim Expo, even though I'd consider that probably the biggest thing going on right now. Anytime you can have a really, really cool group of people getting together of like mind. I remember when we were able to do the Race for Life things out of Texas, down in Dallas, and how cool it was to be able to just meet other sim racers, whether it was the people who brought products and were presenting, and the people that maybe you know by name because you've seen their videos, whether they're streamers or content providers like myself, or whether they're the names of the companies that you've seen for years, like Thomas at Fanatec or Nails of Hoisenfeld. It's just such a cool opportunity for we sim racers. We sim race online, and we rarely get to meet even our best of friends in this hobby world that we play in. But having these places to be able to go. So I do look forward to someday making it out to Sim Expo. Obviously, it's a big undertaking to go from California to Germany, let alone all the way out to Nürburgring, and arrange that, and tremendous cost and time and whatnot, logistics. So I'm so glad. Thank you, Amir. Thank you so much for doing that for us. Anyway, all right. This is a big deal to me. This is a really big deal to me. And I don't know what they're going to do with this in the long run. But iRacing, I don't know if you've heard this yet. It was kind of all over NASCAR and racing news, to be honest with you. Even mainstay news here in Southern California. iRacing developed the LA Coliseum track with NASCAR for 2022 Clash. So at the beginning of every racing season, NASCAR does the Clash. And it has only been done, if I'm not mistaken, at Daytona Motor Speedway. For the first time ever, they are changing the venue. And they're going to a place that has no racetrack. I've been to LA Coliseum many a time. I've watched many a football game. I've been there for an Olympic event. It's housed the Olympics twice. It is the home of the Trojan football team. It has been the home of the Raiders. It has been the home of the Rams, for that matter. LA Coliseum is an iconic place, and it is will be used in the next Olympics that will be here in Los Angeles once again. Eagle Trippin'. I'll answer that question in just a moment. Yeah, so LA Coliseum for the Clash. They're building a track at LA Coliseum. So this is the official post at iRacing. And you can see here on the infield, there is the iconic arch and torch of the Coliseum. And here at the NASCAR page, though, we have this. Coca-Cola. Enjoy. Coca-Cola. And Eagle Pin, while we watch the commercial, we know that they were showing off the Fanatec CSL DD and having it lined up so you could try it in different configurations and compare it to other wheels. No word on the Thrustmaster DD, and from what I saw, Thrustmaster is not at the expo. How long do I have to wait to see my video? I already played your stupid commercial, and I already played your stupid video. Oh, come on. Did something get screwed up? Season open. I'll read while we let this play out. Can I advance it? What the F? This is not what I asked for. Bear with me, everyone. And anyway, season opening Clash gets a short track makeover. I believe it's going to be a quarter mile. Why is this not Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. No, it's doing this stupid thing again. 10 seconds. I better turn down my volume. I had the Windows volume cranked up for a mirror. So it's going to be a quarter mile asphalt track. Here we go. This is what we wanted. We'll give this a moment to play. Yeah, that's kind of what it is. It's like NHL does their outdoor series preseason. It is very similar. And NASCAR's been doing this for a long time. Their Clash at the beginning of the season. But yeah, this is going to be next year. This is going to happen on February 6th, 2022. They're going to break ground or build this track on the infield. So there's the Coliseum. And iRacing has built the virtual version of this track. So look at all that space. They're going to build a flat quarter mile track right in the center there. It's not going to be on the seats like you thought. When I first heard that, I'm like, how are they going to build a track over all the seats? This is crazy. Anyway, come on, video. Catch up with me. What else can I tell you about it while we're waiting for the video to give us something cool? Because I think they have a shot of it, if I'm not mistaken. They're showing Daytona. And anyway, the track will be the shortest in the Cup Series is competed in the modern era. Currently, Bristol Motor at half a mile, Martinsville at half a mile, and then haven't they raced Mickey Thompson stadiums? Yes. So yes, Andrew White. I used to go. They used to do motorcycle before AMA. I can't remember what it's called back in the day, but motocross. They've done stadium trucks, and LA has had a street race that went around the Coliseum as well. So that's sort of the history of that area. I thought they had a shot of it in this. I thought there was a render of the track from iRacing in this video. Sorry, forgive me. I wouldn't have played the whole thing. I thought in the link we saw it. Anyway. But this is kind of cool. It's something I'll be going to. That's the thing. I'll be going to it, you guys. It's here in LA next year, beginning of the year. I'll definitely be going and checking that out, for sure. So, all right. Leahy rebounds from Darlington with the eNASCAR Bristol Victory Championship for bid. So one of the potential winners of this season's NASCAR iRacing, NASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series. He's now one of the potential winners of the whole thing as we get down to crunch time. Lampett finished second, Lusa in third, and our points at this point for the playoff grid is Zelensky and Leahy with 1 win. De Jong is in on points. Clampett is in on points. Matt Busa, -8 to the cut line. So we're getting to the cut point. We're going to start dropping drivers at race after race after race as we get down to figuring out who our champion for the season is going to be. Speaking of champion. So, oh, here, this is another video on the Clash. Maybe this is where I saw it. There it is. That's the shot I had in my memory. That's what I was waiting for. Here, let's... Sorry, you guys. I knew I had seen it. So there you go. NASCAR announces season opening Clash will move to LA Coliseum February 6, 2022. iRacing demoed the track earlier on Race Hub on Fox Sports 1. So there is a shot of what they're going to do with the Coliseum, obviously not interrupting or harming the seats any. That's kind of a big deal. All right, the other thing in iRacing, the last thing we'll talk about before we move on out of iRacing is the Grand Prix Championship is back. So it's been a while. The Grand Prix, or the road side specialty in iRacing Championship world, had really effectively moved to the Porsche. And as much as it's still road versus oval, you know, you got road and you got oval. But it's like comparing Wing Sprint Car oval to NASCAR oval. It's like they're distinctly different disciplines, right? And sure, they share the same properties in a lot of ways, but they're so distinct that you need a different championship. Same thing in the road. Now, in my mind, the premier road, I mean, it's hands down in the real life world, it's Formula One, right? F1 is the premier because they are the fastest, most capable race cars on Earth, the highest tech there is, the fastest there are. Well, when you make it a GT championship, you kind of take it a step down. I'm not trying to take anything away from GT driving. I'm a GT driver myself. But, you know, it's distinctly different. So anyway, the new Force Dynamics Dallara iRacing Grand Prix is now underway. And the first race happened just yesterday, I do believe. And it was at Watkins Glen. And we have some footage of the race. You'll be able to find the race replay there. Apex Racing, Peter Behrman finishing second, and Johan Hart finishing in third. But the winner of the race was none other than Martin van Luzenoord. I'm sorry, Martin, if I saw that. Martin, if I screwed your name up. But anyway, he won the race. So that is now going away. That competition is now going. rFactor, not a lot from them this month. They've answered that latest round of questions on the competition blog. They did talk about potentially changing this particular blog that I go to for news. So they might be taking some of the news stuff out of this and moving it, I believe, to their forums, which would be a shame for me in this particular show as far as following, and then converting this to more of their esport coverage they're contemplating. I don't like the change. I would say create something else for esport, because this I don't think I'm the only person who looks to the news channel for news on rFactor, and esport to me is something else. Anyway, that's just if you want my 2 cents. Also, rFactor, the Le Mans series, making the driver announcement of the top level drivers that are going to be in this year's virtual Le Mans series. And our good buddy, and who I'll be rooting for, Mitchie Hoyer, there he is. He's in the lineup, and this is for the thing, including, I mean, look at it, Felix Rosenquist is in here, Jensen Button, Stoffel Van Doren. So you have a combination of sim pros and real life pros turned sim racers, or guys who've always been good. Rosenquist has always been an exceptional sim racer. He's one of the only pros that I know of, and I think this is changing over time. But he literally is as fast as any alien you're ever going to run into. I mean, literally, he's that good sim racer. So that's kicking off and getting ready to get going as well. I think that's all we had. No, I had one more thing. We talked about hiring from them. I guess that was it from rFactor. I think that's it. Yep, that's it. All right, Gran Turismo. Yeah, Shaun Cole. I am not at that level. I am not of that level by any means. So we talked last show, I believe we talked about the Gran Turismo launch teaser trailer that was out there going on. Yeah, they don't let the Simfather race. I'm only allowed to observe and commentate on. There was an update for regular Gran Turismo, or, the existing version. So anyway, Gran Turismo update 1.67 brings minor UI tweaks, just so you know, if you haven't played it in a while. And then the big thing, though, is that we're getting all sorts of various different teasers. Some are just being dissected from the launch video. Some are new scoops. It's kind of hard to differentiate between the two. But if you're a Gran Turismo fan, it's definitely time to keep your eyes on a handful of different feeds or channels if you want to be on top of what's going on. So here we are at the Gran Turismo Twitter page, from the horse's mouth, so to speak. Returning the roots of Gran Turismo experience, players will start from the GT World map, and then they have the picture of the new map. So you can see a different or new user interface here for the game. But certain things carry over at the same time. Kind of what you'd expect from a franchise series, You don't want to see a total facelift, but you want to see new things, right? I mean, that's the thing. How do you carry your audience from the past into the new era? So yeah, we're starting to see some rollouts of shots of things that we're going to see in Gran Turismo Cafe. And you're starting to get a little hint of the flavor of Gran Turismo, which is exciting, including legendary circuits, trial, mountain, and high-speed ring return to the series. So that'll be good news for people who thought that should have been included in previous versions, right? What else? Yeah, so news is coming out, and we can expect more. And again, if you're a Gran Turismo fan, hey, that's not the I clicked. Or was it? Hold on. That's the one I wanted. 3 photos. This is something I really love. I love these. I wish this was in iRacing right here. Licensed challenges. Not always the whole track. Just here we are at Alsace Village. And you're going to practice the one corner in 2 different cars. Here you're going to go through a chicane and, getting your typical didn't get the time, bronze, silver, gold trophy awards. I love it. These are the things that I love about Gran Turismo. So anyway, we can start getting excited. It's not that long. I mean, time flies, so it's going to be here. GT Planet, talk about the trailer revealed a whole lot of new cars. So they kind of dissected and broke it down and looked for cars that haven't been in the game before or returning to the game. And again, you go through these teasers frame by frame, looking for any tidbits of information that's not out there already or that people missed. Here's Jalopnik talking the same thing. 15 things we just learned from Gran Turismo trailer. So, again, 2 different places. This is GT Planet. This is Jalopnik, both doing the same kind of thing. The GOAT is coming home. Greatest of all time. Welcome back, the CLK. Showing off a lot of stuff that we've seen. So, again, lots of resources. Looks like the used car dealership. Yep, you can pick up a used Viper GTS, an 02 Viper GTS, 18,000 miles on it for a mere 92,000 credits. So, and then we have this Eurogamer also doing it. Polyphony sharing more details, and they're kind of doing their own dissect and looking for tidbits of information and things within stuff. Lots of Gran Turismo news, by the way. I'm just going to kind of... Then you have a leak. So at GT Planet, look, NVIDIA, the GeForce Now leaked an update. So it looks like there's an update for Gran Turismo 7 for the enforced GeForce, which is... Wait a minute. PlayStation Mobile. Interesting. Isn't that interesting? Would that be in the console world? I'm a little confused. Along with other PlayStation included as a PC title. See? See? Okay. Wouldn't that be awesome? Gran Turismo, the damage modeling is basically the same as GT Sport, confirms digital polyphony. That's too bad. I'd like to have seen more damage model. That is really too bad, actually. And Gran Turismo's big new campaign will require an internet connection. So if you want to go in the campaign mode, you will have to plug your machine in. My brother will not play it then. He is an offline-only player. For me, I'd plug it in just to be able to do it. You will be able to do arcade mode offline, just not the campaign mode portion of the game. Right here, we have WRC. They're showing off the eSport final that went on, the official WRC eSport Grand Final. I believe all the rounds up to this round were done online, and then the final was done in person. So they're talking about that, and they have coverage of that at their feed as well. Congratulations to LDLC OL Nexel as the world champion. He's a name, when we were covering round by round coverage, Nexel was almost always a weekly winner, by the way. WRC Esport Final after my session with a controller, third. This was posted by Krim. Finished in third with a controller, by the way. Little time to learn the wheel. And so. And speaking, so then also we've got this, WRC game. So I'm at the WRC official game Twitter page. Good news for Subaru fans. The free period for the Subaru Impreza 1997 DLC on Steam and Epic Game Store has been extended until October 4th. So if you've been playing that and want to play it more, you're not going to lose it just yet. And they're having a competition. Now's your chance to get a WRC 10 limited edition poster from I Am Automobilist. Retweet this tweet or click the link below for extra chances. This giveaway will end on September 26th, so you have 9 days to do it. But all you have to do is click that link and do their Gleam, which I've used Gleam for contests. You can use multiple entry points. So anyway, and beyond that, I don't have a link here, but I really should. Right here at the Simpit, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but Devin Booth has been cranking out WRC content. So if you've wondered if that's the game for you, if you've wondered, is it better than Dirt 2? Is this, maybe you haven't driven a rally game since Richard Burns Rally, who knows? But lots of content coming from Devin out on the channel right now you can check out, and thank you, Devin, for doing all that. Nate Dogg picked up WRC 9 on Steam last night for $15. Nice. You know, sometimes a new game's release is just an opportunity for people to get into the franchise on the previous version, if that makes sense. So, there you go. There's a link. You got the full review right there. Thank you, Devin. Riza Studios. Almost done, but not quite, with their version of Monza. So not quite ready in time for this weekend's GP, but our track team is still pushing hard to deliver Monza for Automobilista 2. That's going to be good. And Renato Simeone has been all over. There was an interview by him, of him, done by Race Department, and you can check that out. There's a link here. We're at the Riza Studios page, but you'll find that at Race Department. In addition to that, he was on the Boltcast, and this is an interview talking about everything. Riza Origins, AMS2 start, why madness, sim development challenges, physics, sim marketplace, future of AMS2. So this is a fascinating interview with Renato at Riza Studios, giving us an in-depth view of sim racing development in particular, done by Steelcast, aka the Boltcast. So you can check that out, and that's also at the Riza Studios Twitter page. RaceRoom has announced that Circuit Nagaro. I have never turned a single lap. Have you? Have you ever been to Paul Armagnac, also known as Circuit de Nagaro? I have not. I've never even heard of it, to be honest with you. Is that a crime? Is that me being just a bad sports fan? It's a twisty circuit that excites with its old school flair and with many interesting corner combinations. So RaceRoom's been updated, and that track is now available. Have anything else from RaceRoom? No, I don't think so. Here's their VIP race from SimRacing Expo. Look, they have a video. They have a few. Look, so ADAC SimRacing Expo. We got a whole bunch. So right now, I am at the ADAC SimRacing Expo Twitter page, by the way, where it looks like they're going to be covering all sorts of things from there, including the RaceRoom VIP race that's going on there. All right, what else? What else, you guys? RaceRoom. I think we talked about it, but they have a video at Race Department showing real life versus sim footage of the AMG GT4, and this is the new Mercedes in game. And let's move on to the good stuff. Lock those ads. There we go. Real life versus sim footage, RaceRoom, AMG GT4. And I'd say that's looking pretty damn good. Yeah. You had TWS wheels named Nagaro. I never heard of that track. Never ever. All right, what else? RaceRoom, here's the Mercedes. Their pro video of the Mercedes AMG GT4. Excuse me. All right, a few more things to talk about, and then we'll move on with our day, get on to our weekend. Here's Fanatec showing off setting up the booth, trying to figure out where that sign should be to look best in the booth. Lots of photos from them of what's going on there. They're even showing off their... Oh, this is ADAC retweeting, showing the Fanatec booth in all its glory along with some of the others. So that's one row of the Fanatec booth. And then here's the display. There's that Bentley getting uncovered at the Fanatec booth. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know the answer to that marquise either. Does anybody here happen to know the answer to that question? All right, so, and then they're showing that Bentley wheel that we were looking at from Mirror's footage there. All right, congratulations to Alessandro Di Tullio. I don't know if you guys got to watch or take part in this week's Hot Lap Pump Day. It was a really fun car track combination. We were in the P217 Dallara LMP2 car at Spa, which was really fun. And Alessandro was in a different world from everybody else. He just kind of checked out as far as lap times and capability. This guy was a monster. It was awesome to watch Alessandro. He blew by me at one point when I was out there practicing, like we were in different level cars, to be honest with you. It was kind of sad. Anyway, he's the next winner, and he will be eligible for an entry into the end of the year shootout of winners, which, believe it or not, I have earned my way into with a second place finish behind somebody who'd already won. So every event produces one winner no matter what. Anyway, also a video here. This is actually, no, go back. You suck. There we go. This is a video that was produced by supercars, like V8 supercars, and they're showing the evolution of supercars in video games. So, this is a very specific type of car, very specific series that is, very popular and very known down under Australia. The V8 supercars. And not only has it become kind of a worldwide sensation with awareness all over the world of this really talented group and really awesome cars, but it's really spawned its own video game genre to an extent, and we've seen things, really advance over the years. We've also seen the V8 supercars spawn drivers that became household names here in the United States. Guys like Marcus Ambrose, guys like Shane Van Gisbergen, You know, these guys transfer from V8 supercars. Despite not being directly affiliated and part of the ladder system of any of the other racing series on planet Earth, well, not none, but it still has fed to drivers into premier racing series throughout the world. Scott McLaughlin, thank you. So anyway, so you really, I mean, in the course of me talking about V8 supercars and how awesome they are, we've also seen, we're probably halfway through. Yeah, we're only about halfway through the evolution, because really V8 supercars has had some form of representation for a great many decade at this point. And you can see at this point, we're starting to get there. Forza Motorsport had them back in 2009. And then we'll go ahead and advance to the front. But here we are today. V8 supercars at Long Beach. That would be fun. That would be squirrely. Yeah, just like that. Yep, just like that. Yep. That looks like a winner. There you go. That's a winner's drift right there. Anyway, cool video just showing. I always like those things taking us back in time where it all started. SimUCube had this. This is my photo, if you think of our thumbnail today. And today was a tough day to pick a thumbnail with so many cool things to see. But I was just looking at this, and they say, all it says is the countdown has started. So what I think we're going to see, I've looked at this photo for a while, and it looks like two magnetic shifters hanging off the back. I believe, and I think we're going to probably hear more from Amir on this in the next few hours. You might want to get in on that Discord channel. I think SimUCube's about to announce their line of wheels, and they're going to do it at SimRacing Expo. And that'll probably be tomorrow, would be my guess. But yesterday, they posted this. The countdown has started, and that sure looks like. So if maybe Amir could have already seen it, and we missed it in talking about it today, it'll probably be here on next show next week, which will be hosted by Devin Booth. Or you can get in our Discord channel and go to Simpit Photos page is where you're going to find that in our Photos page. All right, this was posted at Reddit, and this is a posting by Fanatec, and telling you regarding the CSL DDs. But the semiconductor shortage and the worsening global shipping crisis has resulted in extremely challenging circumstances for every supplier worldwide. And our company and our products are also affected. In addition, a record number of cargo ships are stuck, waiting off the California coast. I can speak that firsthand. There's the California has never had more shipping container ships sitting off of Long Beach, which is the big South United States harbor, the biggest harbor on the West Coast. Has never had more ships waiting in line to come into the harbor than they have right now. Ever in the history of the harbor. And that is a fact. So that is what's going on. There's huge problems not only getting things from overseas, but getting them in once they're here. Anyway, they're now estimating ship date for the new CSLs of November 29th, 2021. So hopefully get you taken care of before Christmas. So... all right, what else? Oh, look at this. This is at the drive. So you can't afford a classic Pininfarina? Well, its racing simulator isn't much cheaper. Expected to fetch between $130,000 and $162,500 at auction. The gorgeous gaming rig is designed as beautifully as the cars. Boom. So, my question to you is, would you pay over $100,000 for a, hey, Mike of IMB, how you doing, buddy? Here, let me give a proper wave to Mike. Hey, Mike, how you doing, buddy? I'm just sitting here with my Shaun Cole SimRacing gloves. Anyway, that's who Mike is. And Mike and Max is giving me a hello. Anyway, look at this amazing rig. I mean, obviously it's beautiful. Obviously it's got Ferrari-esque lines coming from the designs of Pininfarina. And obviously built for some very wealthy person to put in their game room and not probably take sim racing all that seriously. Anyway, it is a gorgeous rig. It is much like what I would love to build something much like that in my house. I would love to. So, anyway. All right, moving on. Let's check out some rigs. This is his homemade. This is posted by XX Blockshead Fan 2001. And it looks like a PVC style rig, and it looks like his own designs, inspired perhaps by Simulator's design, but definitely of his own making. And I like the way he put a foot base, a floorboard, into his rig. And you can see that he's got the classic cheapo dune buggy seat right in there. You can get those right off of Summit for like $40, by the way, if you're doing a DIY. And if you want me to post your picture, well, if you want me to post your rig, get in on our Discord channel and post a picture of your rig in our Post Your Rig section, and I will show it on the show. The other way or trick to get your rig seen on the show here is by putting your cat or dog in the photo, or any animal. I love seeing animals and how they interact with our rigs. We spend so much time there. Our animals are literally forced to deal with us in our rigs, right? They know where to sit, they know where to go, they know how to bother you in just the right way. Thank you for that, Devin. There's the link to our Post Your Rig section of our Discord channel. But anyway, this is posted by Tainsta. Can't see the apex behind his dash ornament. That is a pretty cat, by the way. I like that cat. Then you got this. I always post these so that if you play in a desk chair, and I've done it, you've all done it at some point in time, don't forget about one of the easiest, best ways to just stop your chair from rolling. Let's just stick it in your shoes. You're going to play in your socks. If you're playing on a desk, you're probably playing on a lightweight wheel, and if you're playing on a lightweight wheel, you probably run in socks. So what do you do with your shoes when you take them off? You stick them in the wheels of your chair as stoppers. A little tip from the pros there. All right, this is a beauty of a rig. That's why this one's here. This is BWS7777 posted this. At first I thought that was Climber. He has so many wheels there. But nope, this is BWS77. Did some cable management, still needs work. We all do. And trying to get the track IR dialed on. Oh, if you like try it. Here's my opinion. If you're a big track IR guy, throw it away and buy a VR. I have it working all right, but need to keep tweaking it. Yeah, you're never going to get it perfect because you're trying to race with track IR and it doesn't work. That's my opinion, by the way. I think track IR is awesome for flight sims. But in sim racing, we lead with our eyes. So you're tracking, if you're forcing your head movement to make your track IR work. I've done this. I've been there. I've done it. If you turn your head forcing your track IR to tilt the screen, you're doing it backward and wrong. That's not how we race. It's unawkward, it's unnatural, and you're going to miss apexes. That's my opinion. That's my 2 cents. Throw it out. Use it for other games that it works great on. Works great on like a train simulator. Works great in flight sim. Maybe in certain shooter type games even. But not for sim racing. For sim racing, VR is where it's at if you want motion tracking. That's my opinion. Anyway, got eye strain. Yeah, it's gonna make you sick. It's gonna give you a headache. You're never gonna fix it. I tried and tried and tried. It can't be done. Anyway, sorry about that. This took me back down memory lane. This is posted by Matt 93mm, and this is his ghetto. I shouldn't have repeated that word. I don't call this. This is his Franken Logitech Franken G27. I did this. Marco Popov, thank you very much for subbing to the channel. We had a sub earlier, Alexander. I missed it. It was when Amir was here. Let me go back and see if I can give us another shout out if you're still here. I can't find it now. We had another one. Where's my little... This doesn't have that. We did get a sub earlier. Sorry, I can't find it. I need to stay with current chat. Forgive me. But Marco, welcome to the crew. Anyway, I remember when I modded out my G25 with some extra horsepower and some extra cooling, and it looked a lot like that. I had done my wiring inside the case, but anyway, with active cooling and a 30-volt 5-amp power supply. Do you guys remember when I did that? That was on the old show. That was way back. Obviously, it was a G25. And that takes us to Simpit affairs. Number 1. Before we even get to the Rally League and what's going on in the Rally League, I just want to pull up the trophy because we are getting to crunch time. This week we doing our final practice races. Next week is the kickoff of the Simpit Road and Simpit Oval Series. And if you have not joined, I really wonder why. We have great racers. We have great fun. We have great admins. Our admins are some of the best in the world of racing, sim racing. And we have incredible trophies on the line. And we talk about the winners and the placings right here on the show. I can't think of more reasons to join a road or oval league on iRacing, to be honest with you. I really cannot think of a better reason to join a league than everything I just named there. So if you haven't already, it is time. Go to the simpit.com, go to apply to race, put in some basic information, and you will be up and running. We have a practice race this Sunday. I'm going to be there in the Formula 79, Lotus 79, and I'm expecting really good seasons coming up in both the road and oval leagues. In addition to that, we also have the Simpit Rally Leagues, which is up and running and has been running for a while. And let's look at this week's winners. So looking at the Simpit Rally Club's New Zealand, and it was David S. once again. He has just been rocking it. And Ola Sarnquist coming in second, and Dave Danger Blair, coming in third place. What happened, Heiko? I thought we were looking at the big David S. Heiko showdown coming up. And then looking into our historic variation, thank you for the extra graphic there, Devin. David S., once again. David, you are rocking it. You are just killing everybody in the rally this season. Ken Dub E-Step taking second place, and Dave Blair finishing in third place once again. So, anyway, awesome racing. Wrong page. What? Scene. Oh, thank you, Devin. Thank you. I forgot to take down the trophy. All right, so real quick, we showed you the trophy. I showed you how to apply. Here is our leaderboard in the Simpit Rally Club's New Zealand, where David S. wins over Ola Sarnquist, with Dave Blair taking third in the normal or regular rally. And in the historic variety, it was David S. beating out Ken Estep and David Blair, finishing in third once again. So great job to those guys. I want to throw an apology. I need to apologize to my good rally friends. I promised I was going to get out there and make a run. As you know, we've been cranking out content. I'm still feeling behind because we have so many things that we're working on. So I've just been having that behind feeling, and it makes it very hard for me to step away in a race. But I do apologize for not coming out like I said I would. I'll try to get out there as soon as I possibly can. Because I love running in the rally, and I love seeing how I can match up against you guys who've gotten so much quicker season by season. So anyway, that is going to do it for today's show. I want to once again thank the entire Simpit staff. Dave Blair, always helping out behind the scenes and putting out cool content. Devin Booth, been cranking out WRC and soon Thrustmaster wheel content. And of course, Amir Assad from the live update from the Sim Expo 2021. What a team, what a crew, and I want to thank all you, the pit crew, for being here to talk about everything each and every week and hang out and just be hardcore sim racers, talking about what's going on, having a good time, talking about sim racing and how it applies to all of us. But most of all, get out there, do some sim racing, get out there and have some fun and have yourselves a great, great weekend. This is the Simpit. I'm Shaun Cole, and I'll see you on the track. But wait, there's more. Okay, so next week I'm not going to be here. Next week for the pit stop and all weekend, I'm going to miss the first race of the season. Next week I will be at Button Willow Raceway out near Bakersfield. I will be part of Team Volvo. We're going to be racing the Volvo in the 24-hour Lemons race, and I'm really excited. Excuse me. Really excited about it. Really cool crew. I'm going to be sharing a car with Jochen. Jochen is the co-owner. Chris of CXC, his partner, is Jochen, and Jochen will be part of my team in the Volvo. Also, Cruz, one of the guys who works there at CXC, his name's Cruz, really, really good guy. He's going to be on the team with us as well, and he's been working on the Porsche car that we've been working on. Our Porsche's not ready, so we're all jumping into a rental ride, essentially, just to get one race in for this season and hopefully have the Porsche. Sonic, it's really tough for me to live stream while being a racer. I mean, I've been trying to do, I will try to do something, but I have a few logistic problems of streaming or doing anything. Number one, I'm the team captain for the car we're in because I have the most experience of our crew. so I need to keep the guys organized. The other thing is logistically charging batteries, getting cameras on and off, getting the footage off the cameras. It's really hard to do that when you're also needing to repair the car, do fuel changes, take your 2-hour stint in the car. It's really hard for me to enjoy the moment. So yeah, I will get some footage and I will try to go live at moments. I'll probably, this might be a good time to make sure you're part of the Simpit live channel on Twitch, because that's probably where I will go live. But I probably will go live a few times during the weekend if everything's good. If we're having problems, then you might not see or hear from me much until after, or maybe we'll do a recap. I'll try to get footage, but it's very tough. I've thought about it. I've wanted to do it. It would be really nice if I could get somebody to come be the producer of that show, but it's kind of in the middle of nowhere, so it's kind of hard to do that. Yeah, we have a racing Volvo. It's a racing Volvo. So anyway, the reason I'm here, hey there, Izzy, how you doing? The reason I'm here telling you after the show what's going on is, even though I will be gone, Devin Booth will be here. So Devin Booth will be doing a pit stop on Friday next week. He will be carrying the torch, keeping the show running, even while I'm gone or in my absence. So I want to thank Devin for that, as I was doing all my thank yous of the Simpit crew and everything they do, including allowing me to take a much needed vacation, and in this case I get to do some racing. So I'm super duper happy. Great weekend for me coming up next weekend. This weekend I got to do all my prep work, get ready, so I might be a little short on content coming out from me in the next week and a half. But Devin will be carrying the torch as well there. So again, I want to thank Dave Blair, Amir Saad, Devin Booth, and the whole Simpit crew, and all of you, the pit crew, for just helping us keep it all going. We're doing more and more, trying to grow, trying to get better, and it's all in part to you. So thank you. Get out there, do some racing. Have a great weekend. This is the Simpit. I'm Shaun Cole, and I will see you on the track.